weird, depending on where you're watching this from. This green is determined to be a knot, even though I wound it up. And I started pulling from the middle, and then I got a yarn baby. But we're just going to work with that. I'm working on a green packer right now. And this is my last packer order, so I'm proud of myself for getting through it getting through all the orders as quickly as I did. As many of you know, I have a tendency to procrastinate, and I've been really on top of this, which feels really good, to not be behind in orders. And then I can kind of start working on stuff that I, want to, while I wait for more orders to come in, maybe, hopefully. So this one is a 5-inch hot green. What's the name of the color? Packer. Once I'm finished with this, I'm going to update my Etsy page to reflect the new colors available. And I'm super excited because it's fun. It's fun having color options, especially the options that I have been trying to incorporate are different skin tones. For me, it's really important to take that step of inclusivity for people of all skin tones to find a packer that fits their color. And what the fuck, man, this is so weird. This yarn has been temperamental to a T, and I just don't understand. I've treated you right. I was nice to you all those years. I don't know. But the truth of the matter is I'm trying to stay awake. As many of you know, I've been kind of dealing with the depression for a little while, and all I want to do is sleep all day. But the problem is when I do that, I can't sleep at night and I'm up super late. So I'm trying to stay awake. And it's tough because my eyelids are like, hey, Lydia. But yeah, so trying to stay awake, but I don't want to when I go back to sleep so bad. We got to take a trip to the grocery store to pick up my new medication. I have had some pretty bad drug side effects, and they switched my medication, and it's at the pharmacy now. Luckily, my insurance approved it, so they'll pay for it, which is really good because otherwise we would be having a different conversation about a different medication. And I just want something that works. Oh, you couldn't sleep last night? Oh, I'm so sorry. I was up really late, and then I've just slept all day. So kind of have my schedule all backwards. And it's gonna drive me nuts. I was supposed to start my D&D campaign today, but I woke up too late, and I'm gonna miss the next week's because I have a doctor's appointment, so that should be fun. The doctor that I'm seeing is a primary care physician, but they focus on gender affirming care. So you crochet a blanket. Yeah, I bet you made a lot of progress on your blanket. Oh, I'm so sorry, Lydia. You deserve sleep. You've been feeling so rough, and you just had the shit end of the stick. I apologize. But yeah, so this is my last packer. In my current orders, I had, I think, 6, maybe 7 packers that I've done in the past couple weeks. I've been trying to promote the hell out of my Etsy, and my packers are my #1 sellers. So I yeah. That's what happens, I guess, when you're popular. These are literally the only things. So there's time. I have issues with sleeping or with my son. Sorry, I'm confused about what you have issues with. Yeah, I'm just rambling and trying to stay awake, but I just want to go to sleep so bad. But I know I'll sleep really poorly if I don't stay up. Plus, I have to go to the grocery store to pick up my meds and pick up some groceries and try not to have like an agoraphobia, like flip out where I'm like, I can't go anywhere. Ooh. Because that's kind of how things tend to go. I'm trying to be like okay, but sometimes it's hard. Okay, so I'm gonna pull my hook out and I'm gonna stuff the scrotum. And I believe this is a medium fill. There's a bunch of polyfill there. Okay, let me check. Yeah, sleeping issues, yeah. Ugh, they suck. Okay, let's see. So this one is medium, 3 inches. Okay, well that's good to know because I was planning on 5 inches. So glad I checked. And then I'm just gonna stuff polyfill into the packer. Now this is a medium fill, so really the level of fullness comes from the scrotum. That does the most. It shows the most bulk in the packer, so that's usually where I can make my adjustments between medium and full. Okay, let's get back to crocheting. Luckily, this shouldn't take long because it's just inches. So I'm just going to keep on going around doing single crochets until it's time to do the head. And then I want to do some more of my gag gift list. I have so many ideas and I keep on getting more that I'm like, when is a good time to make them? Also it takes me a while to edit the videos. I'm not good at editing videos, and I would barely call it editing. I just kind of put little signs like #1, do this, and then I put together a list of things. But yeah, so I really enjoyed making the kid-friendly one. A lot of people didn't really watch it, which is fine, but I thought it would be fun to do, so I'm gonna continue doing it and see if it catches on or not. And that's fine. Cleaning my bedroom is also my craft room too. Yeah, that's tough because anywhere that's my craft room is gonna be immediately dirty. Like it's just kind of like the rule. I'm probably gonna have to rewind this cake because it's just like a mess. Should have built from the outside, but the cake was big enough where I thought it would be able to support the inside, and then it just had like a kind of like a knot around something, and then so when I pulled out, I just got this like yarn baby. So luckily I have my you can kind of see just the very tip of it when I move it like that right there. I have my yarn winder always on my desk. Um, Things that have desk attachments, I find that they're just easier to stick in one spot and not move, but they do take up space. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with my Addy because it's currently attached to my coffee table in my living room, and it's not really functional there, but when I do use my knitting machine, I do like to have it kind of right there. But it's just hard to kind of like keep anywhere. And then I have a big Centro, but oh yeah, of course, I'm glad you liked it. I know I've never heard of that like watercolor paint, like watercolor paper paint before. So I don't know if it's expensive or not, but like it's pretty cool. Um, so I thought you would like it. And just give you more options just in case those are the paints you do have. Just thinking about you. Oh, I'm so tired. Just crochet myself a pillow and just fall asleep right here on my live. So I'm thinking about doing a fundraiser this month, and I'm trying to figure out how I want to do it. Because last year we did an auction for, yeah, I am exhausted. Last year we did an auction for Club Q, the victims and survivors, and the families of Club Q. And that felt really good to do, especially around the holidays, even though it was, that's just happened to be around the time that this happened. But this year, I don't think I'll ever do an auction again. It was really hard to do, coordinating payments from people and all this stuff. It was just really challenging. So I think I might just do a like streaming marathon and hope that that will, do something. Um, you and me need to sleep, but I need to clean. Yeah, I want to clean too, and I want to like work out. Maybe that'll help me wake up, but it's possible it could just put me right to sleep. Who knows? Um, yeah, I've been in like a off and on cleaning mood, especially since I got my like uproot clean thing for pet hair. That that set works so well. I feel like everything looks so much cleaner, and it's so nice. I'm so happy about it. Um, like my like carpet feels so different. And like I kind of switch back and forth between walking around in like slippers and walking around barefoot. And like I can feel the difference like both barefoot and in slippers. Like normally there's like a little bit of slipperiness to the carpet, but with the uproot clean kit that I ordered, it's like it's not slippery anymore because that's how much dog hair was in the carpet. And it's really good at getting it out. Like you might not even see that there's that much hair, and then you brush it a couple times and you're like, whoa, that is a lot of hair. Okay, so I think we're getting close to 3 inches. I need to take out my tape measure. Okay, so we're 2.5. So I should take like 2 or 3 more rows. I like working with kind of like abnormal colors for packers. I don't know, I just find it really fun. I mean, it's great and super rewarding to do like skin tone ones, but I don't know, fun colors are always just kind of like a nice little treat. Okay, so I'm excited to start my new med. I hope it works. A lot of things haven't been working, so it's just like it'd be really nice to just finally get some kind of sense of like normal back. Um, Especially as I'm going into a stage where I got to be ready for my surgery. So I have to start tapering down my nicotine soon because I don't know when they'll want the blood test done. Um, but you have to have no nicotine in your system when you get the blood test done. So gonna quit that, which isn't a super big deal, especially if I'm tapering it off. Gonna start some new meds. Hopefully those kick in and perform well. I don't have any crazy side effects, which is what has been a lot of the problem here. So a little tape measure. Okay. It's a little bit longer. I'm gonna frog one row. Okay, so I'm going to pull up and I'm going to stop the packer. And I want to make sure that it is very lightly packed at the fold so that it will fold comfortably and easily. So I just fold it and then start packing it in there really tightly. So my surgery is in March, and one of my surgeries is in March. I don't think we've scheduled my hysterectomy yet. And my pre-op is in February. So I'll either be doing a lot or nothing at all. So that's when my top surgery is. And I am so excited. It was supposed to be this October, but as we've discussed, there were some things that came up which made it not possible to be in October. And I am meeting with another plastic surgeon for top surgery in January because this surgeon supposedly is a lot less. This surgeon is supposedly more understanding of people who have mental illnesses and who are transgender, which I think would be really helpful because then it would put a lot less pressure on me to kind of hide how I'm feeling, because that's what was going on in October and September. And as a result, I kind of spiraled out of control and got into a really bad place where I didn't feel like I was able to get help if I needed to, which made me spiral more. I just kind of was out of control with it. So I'm really, I want to talk to the surgeon and get on their books just in case. I think even that will just kind of make my mental health better. But, with starting a new medication, you never know how it's going to affect you. And, I could destabilize between now and then. So I'm just kind of hoping that I can get through it a little bit easier this time. So now we're going to start our decreases. If I can get in the stitch. Oh my god. I'm super excited about the surgery, though. It's something that I've obviously wanted for a very long time. And, I know that surgery is not particularly fun, but the end results can be. My doctor would listen to me. I've been dealing with female issues all my life. It's getting worse. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I think that, medicine for women is just so fucked up. I don't know any other way to put it. I'm actually having a really hard time seeing the stitches right now. What is going on? But yeah, women are so often treated poorly by medical professionals who don't take them seriously, who don't want to look into like the actual problems. And it's just really sad because, it's like, it's almost like women aren't allowed to have problems. And they're not allowed to have their own autonomy of their own body. So they get into some really bad positions medically because doctors don't treat them like they need to. So I'm really sorry to hear that. Um, I hope I'm not spilling the beans too much, but Melanie has always had really painful menstrual cycles, and for a long time, people were like, oh, well, like, that's just how it is for some people, right? And then a couple years ago, she finally got diagnosed with endometriosis, and it was like, well, yeah, no wonder she would be like, super sick and just feeling awful and um, all this stuff, you know, like when I used to have them, it wasn't that bad for me. I didn't feel great. I wasn't like, yay. So I'm dealing with the pain. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so, like, they were telling her that she was having like a normal range of pain for periods, and like that was just not the case. And I just like, I hate that anyone has to deal with that. Um, but, a lot of people don't know because, like, we don't know what normal is. And when we tell our doctors, if they say, hey, that's normal, then we're like, okay, well, I guess I'm just kind of a weak person or something. But really, you're dealing with something that's much more painful. Um, and yeah, so finding out that she had that was really hard. Um, she recently had, I don't know if I should be talking about this on YouTube. I feel like I'm kind of like breaking her privacy a little bit. But she recently had a procedure done. I won't say what it is. And I was gonna hold her hand, and it was like there was no numbing, no sedation, no nothing. She recently had a procedure done, and she had heard from other people in a similar predicament that it was a pretty painful procedure. So I was going to be there to hold her hand and be supportive. Um, I don't know what happened to me. I literally don't know because, like, I don't get grossed out by medical stuff ever. And, like, I couldn't even see anything. Um, but like, so they started this procedure. It starts to get really painful for her. She's grasping my hand. I had no symptoms in during the day prior to this, and all of a sudden, I feel myself starting to turn green, like, and I'm like, I'm gonna throw up on my wife. I'm gonna throw up, and this might be TMI, but like I basically booked it, and I was like, "Babe, I'm so sorry." I booked it to the bathroom, and that's not what came out of. And I literally was in there for like 20 minutes, just like crying, like, "What is happening to my body?" And when I came back, they were done, and she was pretty upset that I couldn't be there for like all of it. And I was like, "Babe, I don't know what happened." And like literally like all the like nurses and stuff thought that I got freaked out by the procedure, and I was like, no, I just like I started feeling really sick, and I don't know why, but I like it was crazy. It was so weird, and I felt terrible. Like that's one of those moments where like you will beat yourself up over forever because like you weren't there to support your partner, and obviously you want to be there to support your partner through difficult procedures and difficult times, but um I oh man, I literally if I didn't get out of there, I was gonna have a big problem. Like, everyone was gonna have a big problem on their hands. So, you're welcome. But also, I feel terrible that I wasn't there to support Mel when I needed to. I'm gonna use the end of a paintbrush. It doesn't work too well. Chopsticks are my usual go-to because they really get in there. Sometimes you can kind of like push it to the sides like that. Now, I find it's kind of like a, I don't want to toot my own horn, but it's kind of like an art form, stuffing a packer at the end, because if you don't pack it full enough at the end, if you don't get under all of the edges of the head, it just kind of is flat. So you have this cylinder and then it's just flat, which is not really an anatomically accurate. Granted, we're not going for super anatomically accurate, but we're going for good enough. And yeah, so you have to really kind of pack it full, and it gets really hard to crochet the ends. But that will give it like a concave kind of experience look. Concave look. So, yeah, going back to this. So I'm planning on, I want to do a, um, I want to do a fundraiser, and I don't think that I can do an auction again, which an auction is such a good way to raise money, but it really is, difficult to, um, navigate, coordinate all the payments and stuff, and all of that. So I really don't think I'll ever do an auction again. But do you think it would be a good idea to do like a streaming marathon, and then I could get people to donate maybe at like certain levels? Like, if we get up to this much, I'll do this. If we do this much, I'll do this. Like, let me know what you think. Because I want to do something in December. I did something in December of last year. Um, I saw on Facebook there was an ad for the Alzheimer's Association, and I thought it said something about the solstice and the longest day of the year. For some reason, I thought about the winter solstice, which was just the shortest day of the year, and I was like, "Oh, that's coming up, so I could do that." But they were talking about the summer solstice, and I was like, "Oh, that's in June of next year. Uh, I don't want to wait that long." So I think I might do just something for the Alzheimer's Association, but do it in December. Um, Maybe I'll do it even on the solstice, so it is the shortest day of the year, and maybe that will be symbolic somehow. I lost my grandmother to Alzheimer's, so it isn't, is it, and my grandfather to dementia. But I think he had other problems, but dementia was just like an added bonus. Um, yeah, I think if I plan out ahead of time, of doing it, that I will, then it could be okay. And then I could just like crochet all day, and that could be good. And I'll have like certain goals, like if we reach this amount, I'll do whatever. I can get some ideas from the Army of Weirdos. Um, but I miss my grandma a lot, and the terrible thing about Alzheimer's is that you start to lose a person before they're actually dying. It's really hard to watch someone you love and respect so much go through that type of pain, because at first it's really painful for them to realize that they're not remembering things. As someone with memory issues myself, I know how distressing just basic stuff can be, so I can only imagine when you have all your facilities and then they're gone, or you think that you have all your facilities and then not there, how troubling that is. And then eventually they stop acknowledging the fact that they have Alzheimer's. They've settled into this place where, like, they're just in the world, but the person that you knew is gone. And so I feel like I lost my grandmother a lot way before she passed. And it became too painful to even see her because, you know, as you all know, like I cut and dye my hair all the time. Like I wouldn't have been recognizable to her in her final years, and the last time I saw my grandfather, he didn't recognize me. And um it was really devastating. I just remember my mother-in-law had taken me and my wife sat in the car, and my wife and my mother-in-law sat in the car, and I just came out and I just started just weeping. Um, Not having someone you love that has been in your life um, not remember you is so unbelievably painful. Um, so I you know, I want to do something for that charity because I think research, you know, a lot of different organizations need money for more research, but that is obviously something very close to my heart. And um, my grandmother was a very sweet, very very kind woman who lived in a very unkind world. And if I could just do this for her, I think it would mean a lot for me. Um, so we'll see if we can get that done. And yeah, sorry, I'm trying to do invisible decreases, and it's getting increasingly hard to see because there's so much polyfill, but there needs to be, so it's like. So yeah, so I think I'm thinking about doing it. I'm not quite sure when in December I'm gonna do it. Let me see when the winter solstice is. Okay, so apparently the date changes depending on where you're at. December 21st. Okay, so that is a Thursday. Um, let's see. So I was thinking about doing it the 22nd, which is the Friday before Christmas. I have treatment. I have my IOP on the 21st, but I could go do it the 20th, and then I would have the 21st free. So let's plan on doing the 21st. Seems good. Then it'll be kind of right on the solstice. So December 21st. Okay, so sound enough. Gonna cut there, pull through. Okay, so this is the 3-inch packer. It's pretty full. It is a Thursday. I could do Friday if we think that that would be better, but I can kind of pull around on the Army of Weirdos and see when people would be able to show up. Just doing my top stitching for the head right now. Thursday will work for you? Okay. Okay. So then I'm going to create a slip knot. Start my double crochets for the tab. Yeah, so I'll do that, and then I'll try to think of different increments I can get to and what I'll do for that. Okay, got my tabs done. Snip. And I'm going to weave in my ends. Okay. I know a lot of people hate weaving in ends, but they're just a couple. It doesn't bother me too much because it's just really satisfying to have everything can come together. Um, with the Packers, I don't have too many ends to weave in, like 5 or so, and they're pretty easy, just due to the shape of it. Okay. I hate when you catch the polyfill. Go back in, go back in, go back in, go back in. Okay, so there is the Packer complete, ready to ship. So this is the yarn. I think I'm just gonna ball it up instead of winding it, just because it's pretty small. I don't really like working with balls of yarn. Frankly, I find them pretty annoying, but sometimes it's just the best thing to do when you only have a little bit left. Okay, and then my last little bit of yarn. I'm just going to stuff that in there, and then we have our little ball of lime green yarn. Okay, so I'm gonna go, but I'm gonna think about some things I can do for uh, um, some things I can do for the uh, fundraiser. So thank you all for hanging out. This is my last packer order for right now, so I get to go back to doing fun stuff. But I will talk to you later. I hope you have a great day, night, morning, wherever you are, and I'll talk to you later.